When you read these miscellaneous notes, you will find dew-like gems. Polish them, and flowers will bloom in endless profusion. When I was a young man, I received this collection of teachings from my teacher Ziami. This was written by Zenchiku in 1453, and it's in the foreword of a book I'm reading at the moment called On the Art of the Noh Drama, the Major Treatises of Ziami, translated by J. Thomas Reimer and Yamazaki Masakazu in 1984. I've had this book in my personal library for about a year, and it's from the London Library, and I've started reading it again because I feel that to understand kabuki, one needs to also understand and delve deeply into Noh theatre. And so this week I'm going to be spending a lot of my reading time reading this book. And I want to share a little passage that I found today and quite liked. But before I share that particular passage, let me just very briefly give you the background of Noh theatre. So this is written by Thomas Reimer, this particular section. The Noh theatre of Japan, one of the most remarkable performing traditions in the world theatre, was brought to its first and highest flowering by Ziami Motokiyo, 1363 to 1443. Ziami, building on the insights and experiences of his father, Kanami, was able, through his own skills and abilities, to transform what had essentially been a country entertainment with strong ritual overtones into a superb total theatrical experience in which mime, dance, poetry and song were combined so that each art could be transcended in order to produce for his audiences an experience of profundity and an almost religious exhilaration. It's quite incredible that someone well over 600 years ago documented in such detail and also with such phenomenal poetic flair and style so many important elements all about acting and theatre and the psychological, the physical, the spiritual elements of performance. It's just interesting, even for me, I feel like what I'm doing with these documentary recordings feels quite innovative and new, but people have been doing this for centuries. The passage I'm going to read to you now is on the chapter The True Path to the Flower, page 69, and this little bit is called number 4, Skin, Flesh and Bone. In the performance of Noh theatre, there are 3 basic elements: skin, flesh and bone. The 3 are almost never found together in the same actor. In the art of calligraphy, it is said that the 3 have never been found together except in the work of Kukai. When it comes to explaining the elements of skin, flesh and bone in terms of the Noh, then what can be described as bone represents that exceptional artistic strength that a gifted actor shows naturally in his performance and which comes to him of itself through his inborn ability. Flesh can doubtless be defined as that element visible in a performance that arises from the power of the skills of the actor that he has obtained by mastering the 2 basic arts of chant and dance. Skin, on the other hand, may be explained as a manner of ease and beauty in performance that can be obtained when the other 2 elements are thoroughly perfected. To put it another way, when considering the art that comes from sight, the art that comes from sound, and of the art that comes from the heart, it can be said that sight should be equated with skin, sound with flesh, and the heart to the bone. Within the category of the chant itself, these three qualities can be seen to exist. The beauty of the voice of the actor represents the skin, the interest of the melody is the flesh, and the techniques of breathing employed represent the bone. The same principle applies to the dance. The beauty of the actor's appearance represents the skin, the artistic patterns of the dance represent the flesh, and the richness of the emotions manifested by the dance represents the bone. These are matters to be pondered over with great care. On this point, when I look at the artists who are performing today, I find that not only are there no artists who can truly manifest these three principles in performance, but indeed there are none who even know that such conceptions exist. My father taught me such things privately, and I have taken his lessons to heart. From what one can observe in the performances of actors these days, they are only able to manage certain elements of skin. And yet, such is not the true skin, which has behind it the flesh and the bone. It is only the skin that they attempt to imitate. Such actors have not gained a fluent mastery. Then again, even if an actor should manage to possess all three of these qualities, there is still more that he must understand. Even if he possesses them, the bones, his naturally inherited talent, flesh, his acquired skills in chant and dance, and skin, the elegance of his outward appearance on stage. These three have, of themselves, no greater significance than each of these individual qualities may possess. It is difficult to describe the qualities of an actor who has truly fused them together. To speak of such a level of achievement involves, for example, a true mastery of those artistic principles that have already reached a high degree of perfection, to a level where the artist moves beyond his means of expression to produce a performance of profound ease. The spectators, witnessing his performance, will be caught up in his mastery and will forget themselves. Only afterwards will they reflect on the performance, realizing that they found no weak spots whatsoever. Such, for the audience, represents the sensation of having seen an actor whose years of training have added to the bone of his natural skills. Secondly, they will find in him one whose art, no matter how often it is observed, will seem inexhaustible. Such is the effect of the flesh of an artist who exhibits the mastery of the skills that are highly developed to the point of rare mastery. Thirdly, the audience will always find the actor elegant. This quality derives from his attainment of the skills represented by skin. When the actor himself can naturally reflect those emotions felt in mutuality with the audience, it can be said that he is one who has truly blended skin, flesh, and bone. Until tomorrow, good night.